Hello everyone, welcome back to News at 10 every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. going through the biggest stories. We hoover it all up and put it in a nice little package for you.
Lots to cover today.
Lots to cover. If you're an Arsenal fan, you want to stick around. If you don't like Spurs, you might want to stick around as well. And if you're a West Ham fan, you definitely want to stick around. Actually, if you're an Everton fan as well, we've got a snippet from you for you guys as well. Let's go straight into the back pages. Let's not mess about. Looking at the Daily Mail, the same stories on most of them, I would say. You've got 4 Brazilians, 1 Englishman. England under 17s making
World Cup final.
World Cup final, back-to-back hat tricks for Brewster. Incredible stuff to see them in the final again. The future's bright. I said this in the office yesterday. England are going to win the World Cup.
You're going to go on camera saying this? You sure? I'll give you a warning.
In the next 20 years.
He said 10 years earlier. He's doubled his length.
Yeah. So let me know, are you excited, those of you that are England fans, about this fact? The fact that England, the youth teams are doing so well. Incredible stuff.
They are.
Beating Brazil in the semi-final. But on most of the other back pages, it's about West Ham and that comeback against Spurs. Disappointing for Spurs fans. There is that thing that's thrown at them time and time again. You haven't won anything. This is a competition that you could quite easily
win that this year, are they?
But you're not going to do it this year. Hammer blows, says The Guardian. The Metro, usually good for puns, but it's poor today. Bilic back from the brink.
Oh, they went for alliteration instead.
Very true. If you are a West Ham fan, this is another reason to stay to the end of this video, because I will be explaining this.
I see you.
So you want to stick around. It's funny. This is what our fan channels do. They'll give you the news, they'll break that news, and they'll come from a position of knowledge. But they'll also have some bloody good fun when they win some games. So stick around to the end of the video and we'll show you the best bits of West Ham Fan TV's fan cams last night. Another one there on the Mirror. I knew it was over, says Koeman. Him saying that I'm not daft. He knew it was crisis time after the Lyon game, which we broke on News at 10. We didn't break it, but we reacted to it very quickly after losing that game, saying that it looked like the end was near. So it was the first game for David Unsworth. Let us know what you think about the result yesterday. A 2-1 defeat against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. But this is what Baz had to say straight after the game on Toffee TV.
If you can take heart in a defeat out of a cup competition, tonight for me is the night that we do that, because I honestly believe if nothing would have changed this week and we'd have gone there with Ronald Koeman's side, we'd have been beaten 3 or 4-0 regardless. It would have just been another one of those performances. But I saw an Everton side tonight running. I saw an Everton side grow in stature in the game. I saw an Everton side trying to get themselves back into a game and actually taking a game to the opposition.
So upbeat.
It's definitely more upbeat than they have been the last few weeks. And I think that's all Everton fans were looking for. They weren't expecting miracles and victories straight away, but they just wanted to see a team that had an identity that looked like it knew what it was doing from the manager's tactical point of view and actually committed.
Yeah, and paired in one of his other videos, we're talking about a blueprint. For the first time, you saw a structure there, an idea of playing, and hopefully some seeds of a better team and a better outcome, maybe this weekend against Leicester City. Let's talk about Arsenal. Massive day for Arsenal and Arsenal fans. You would hope, because it's their AGM today, and Stan Kroenke has been giving out a few interviews. John Cross has interviewed him yesterday. John Cross is renowned for Arsenal news, really. Likes to wind up certain people, likes to get those headlines out there, and he's spoken to the man at the top. The main line I think you've got to take from this interview is that he has said that he will never sell Arsenal. Arsenal fans, let me know how you feel about that in the comments. Obviously there's been protests, there's been a lot of anger towards him and the way that he's run the team. He's saying that they can win major trophies, they can win the Premier League and the Champions League. He also said Arsene Wenger is the best man for the job.
Because he's the yes man. He has been the yes man for a long time. And to say he will never sell the club, that's a big statement. I can relate to that in the fact that we've got the Glazers in charge of Manchester United. It may have been Malcolm Glazer that took over, but all of his kids have still got control. And the exact same situation in terms of having an American tycoon that owns your club is happening at Arsenal. And I know that DT, Troops, Robbie, a lot of their hatred is pointed towards Kroenke, and rather than just at Wenger. They think the problem stems much deeper and much further than just the manager.
And Kroenke kind of spoke about this, well, the fans at least. He's saying the best thing is the rabid fans, the worst thing is the rabid fans. They're passionate about the club, they have the right to their opinions, and the only part I worry about is how it affects players and coaching staff. It can have a bad effect on that group, and that's the last group you want to have a bad effect on. Again, I don't feel like he's reaching out. It's like, it seems very basic stuff that he's saying. He's also saying that it's not about the money for him. However, you look at the amount of money that they bring in, you don't feel like that squad is a reflection of that at all. It's going to be interesting to see what the Arsenal fans look to do tonight. 97% of the club is run by Kroenke and Usmanov. That's only 3% left for the fans in what is a public limited company.
I mean,
there's got to be something planned tonight.
It really feels like a PR move more than anything. Just ahead of the AGM, that goes well in Kroenke's favour. I'm not sure what's going to be decided or what's going to happen at the AGM, but typically it's an insight for fans into the club and what is actually happening behind the scenes, because you're not privy to that sort of information normally. But after seeing something like this PR move with John Cross, and John Cross is a perfect journalist to go to with this interview. Yeah,
because he knows that this Arsenal stuff will work. Ian Wright has had his say on Twitter, tweeting back to John Cross after that, saying, John, were they on a massage table doing that interview? They sound like they're reading a, use your own word, script. So Ian Wright, he's not buying it. Another thing that you probably would want to buy as an Arsenal fan, and this was in the Telegraph, Kroenke was saying that Sanchez and Ozil are players that they are still looking to try and keep at the club, and they're still fighting to keep them at the club.
Do you think there is any chance that either or both of them can stay? Let me know in the comments below, because obviously both of them are on free transfers this summer, and it's not outside the realms of possibility that they do stay at the club. They get a big bumper new contract. Arsenal changed their wage structure to keep their two best players at the club. But Arsenal as a club would have to change to make that happen. Do you think there's any chance that could happen?
Well, Kroenke is saying here, he's saying we're looking for top players. It's like he's Harry Redknapp. And those guys are top players, and they're looking for other guys as well. And he's saying that that's looking good. But he's saying when it comes down to Sanchez and Ozil, it's a two-way street. And I think that's kind of implying that they need to want it as well. But you can understand why they wouldn't want it, because they haven't shown the ambition a lot of the time when you are making the kind of money that Arsenal are making. What are the comments saying?
We've got Michael Germinal saying that Stan Kroenke is the biggest problem at Arsenal. We could buy Messi and Ronaldo, but we still wouldn't be able to win the league under Stan Kroenke. As I said, and what Sam is saying, Stan is a deluded man. Arsenal is a business for him. Bitch doesn't give a fuck about the team, and Wenger is his lapdog.
Nice.
Very sassy comment there from Matt Swan. But I think he's right in that when Arsenal went through that period of austerity, someone like Arsene Wenger was the perfect yes man to have in front of the media, because he was able to soak up all the extra pressure that was going on him, and he would deflect it away from the board, the fact that they couldn't spend because they had the Emirates to pay for. It's maybe a similar situation to what Spurs are going to go through in the next few years. I wonder what's going to happen there. But now that that's passed, and Arsenal haven't really changed in the fact that they haven't won the league since 2004, I think it was, but they have spent big on Ozil, on Lacazette, on Mustafi. They've bought individual big players, but the team itself...
The wage bill is high.
But the team itself, the problems exist now that existed 4 years ago before they made those major signings. So maybe the fans are right in that the problems do exist much further than just those 11 players on the pitch.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. We are going to be in the comments up until 12 and beyond. So what you got to do is get in the comments. Okay, come and have a chat with us, because this is an interesting thing, and we'll bring you the reaction to the AGM and what happens tomorrow at News at 10. So hit that notification bell, subscribe to Ball Street, and get involved. Let's show you that clip that we need to show you now. It's League Cup last night. Back pages, as you saw, West Ham doing the result of the whole round of ties, if you ask me.
What a comeback.
2-0 down.
What a comeback.
You've got to check out the video with Nikki from West Ham Fan TV talking about the fact that club is in disarray. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But after coming back from 2-0 down, he was doing his fan cams from Wembley, and they had a good time, the West Ham fans. Check this out.
We just come out the second half like a different team. No changes, no nothing. What Messi has said to him in the dressing room.
Do you want me to stay? Do you want me to have this job tomorrow? Because if you don't, then fine, we'll go out and we'll lose 2-0. But if you want me to be here, and if you love me, then you'll go out and you'll play your hearts out, and you'll get us that result.
Look, my God.
It's the stuff dreams are made of. This is what we live for. This is West Ham for me. You know, look at everyone around. This is the result of the season. Come on, I wouldn't care if we... Look, I don't want to go out next round, but if we do, we came here and we beat them in their backyard. We're all having a party! We're trying to fuck it up! Again! We're trying to fuck it up! Again! We're trying to fuck it up! We're all having a party! We're all having a party! We're all having a party! We're trying to fuck it up! Again! Come on! Come on! Yes! Come on! Come on! Come on! We're trying to fuck it up! Again! We're trying to fuck it up! We're trying to fuck it up! We're all having a party! I see you! I see you! We're all having a party! We're trying to fuck it up!
Yes, we will put a link in the description. If you do not subscribe to West Ham Fan TV, you need to go and do that and go and check out all of those videos because they're having a good time and that's what fucking football's about.
They did it last year to Tottenham as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they've got a great record against Tottenham. It's unbelievable stuff, and that's good. Good to see.
It's good to see Nicky smiling as well, isn't it?
Flav upstairs not best happy. Yeah, West Ham fans, let us know your thoughts on that result against Spurs. And finally, let's talk about Luke Shaw and his fears. This is in The Guardian this morning. His fears for Manchester United career after Jose Mourinho fallout. Sam, you did a video on Luke Shaw yesterday.
I did.
Jumping the gun, but it's worked out for you this time. No. Or is it this guy knows his shit? Who knows?
I'm going to go for the latter.
Let's go for the latter. But apparently the relationship has broken down. What are your thoughts on this story?
Luke Shaw, man, it's a sad situation in that prior to his injury, when he came to Manchester United, a lot of his managers actually questioned his attitude. And then Louis van Gaal called him fat. And then he came back. During that summer, he had the time off, but he went to Dubai and he did his own fitness camp. He came back looking really trim on the pre-season tour. Started the season very, very well with Memphis Depay down the left for Manchester United. Yeah. Broke his leg on his Champions League debut. Ever since then, it's been a long, long road of recovery because that was 2 years ago now. And Luke Shaw, under that, was moved under Louis van Gaal, who never really trusted him. Then Jose Mourinho, who also hasn't trusted him. And at the moment at Manchester United, Daley Blind, Marcus Rojo, Axel Tuanzebe, Matteo Darmian, Ashley Young, all are ahead of Luke Shaw at left back.
Mad.
All of these players are getting used ahead of what I feel is still the best left back at Manchester United. And all the articles are pointing towards the fact that Mourinho is not happy with Luke Shaw's attitude on and off the pitch. He doesn't feel he's committed enough to want to take his opportunities. But at the same time, Luke Shaw feels he's done enough to earn his opportunities.
Yeah.
So it's a case of two people pointing at each other. We don't know who's telling the truth, but ultimately, Jose Mourinho is the manager and his decision is final.
According to the article, it's suggesting that he might look for a loan move, but certainly doesn't want any kind of permanent move in January. But this is an exciting England player, exciting talent. Is he going to just go to waste? Or does he just need a fresh start, do you think?
I can genuinely see Danny Rose leaving Tottenham Hotspur and Luke Shaw coming in, because the only manager who Shaw has ever properly thrived under was Mauricio Pochettino at Tottenham Hotspur. That season where he really shone, at Southampton. That season where he really shone was his best year. And Pochettino is the only manager to have not publicly come out and questioned Shaw's attitude on and off the pitch. So and with Danny Rose, obviously, he's got an injury, he's come back, he's slightly overweight. There's parallels between Rose and Shaw in the situation. They're both very talented left-back English players. But Luke Shaw, I'm really sad.
So you want a straight swap?
No, well, I don't want Danny Rose either. I think we'll get the same situation at United that we've got.
You'd swap. I think you'd swap. Man United fans,
would you swap?
Let us know. Would you swap Danny Rose for Luke Shaw with the current situation for the two? I'm pretty sure most Man United fans would. Let me know in the comments below. That's your news at 10. We've gone through it all. Some interesting stuff when it comes to Arsenal today. We will be here tomorrow to give you the reaction to that AGM, see what's happened and see how Kroenke's somehow won over the fans. I doubt it very much.
So do I.
Let us know your thoughts on Arsenal, on West Ham Fan TV, on West Ham beating Spurs, and on Luke Shaw and Everton as well. Got through so much today.
So much.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button for us, but also hit that notification bell.
Drop a like.
So you can join us live every weekday morning. Subscribe to Ball Street, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take it easy.